Hello, Flosstube.
Greetings.
I'm Laura.
I'm Joe.
This is the Slovak Farm.
Yep.
Take 2.
Phone's glitchy.
It is Monday, March 4th.
2019.
17 degrees outside.
And Mother Nature's playing a yo-yo with the temperature.
It's not going to go above freezing until like Friday, so it's going to be like over 100 hours of below freezing temperatures.
And that's going to go like 20 degrees above it. Fahrenheit.
First of all, may I say, condolences and best wishes to everybody in Alabama because they had tornadoes yesterday. While it was dumping like 10 inches of snow on the Northeast. Climate change. Also, can I just share that I'm a little devastated that Luke Perry has passed away? A little devastated.
He actually did a couple of good sci-fi shows. They didn't last very long because, well, the network was on, but it was actually really good. Oh. Okay.
McKay. I truly love Dylan McKay. Okay. Welcome back to all of our returning viewers, and welcome in to all of our new viewers.
Hi, y'all. What's up?
We hope you enjoy the antics, because
That's kind of all shtick.
that's our deal.
Let me read the first one. Are we going down or are we going up?
I'm starting from the bottom.
Okay. Lynn McGill said first.
I don't need to read their last names, but okay.
Well, they put it on the Facebook.
But we don't need to say it. Read it. We can just say Lynn.
Okay,
Anyway.
then why is there more than one Lynn in there?
Well,
It's not exactly an uncommon name here.
when we get to that point, we'll cross that bridge.
Boop, 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 boop. I just crossed it anyway. Okay, first she said, I have a zoo and a safari. Huh?
You don't remember our question, do you?
Nope.
Do you have squirrels or frogs?
She has a zoo and a safari.
Apparently she has squirrels and frogs.
She's just discombobulated. She doesn't know what she's looking at.
True story.
Our Christmas fabric at Hobby Lobby starts coming in around July.
Hobby Lobby starts putting their Christmas stuff out in July.
Jeez, I thought Walmart was bad. Yes, I know I don't yelp. It's just, as a guy who didn't know, it's like, No, it didn't freeze. I just consoled my face when I went to.
It's okay, I thought we were going to hear a crash out front. There were squealing tires.
Yeah, for some reason, the people around here do not equate
People
wet.
do not know how to drive.
Well,
I have just come to this conclusion. People in our city do not know how to drive. I almost got hit 3 times last week, twice in the same day.
Yeah, I almost got creamed while I had the light. And also, yesterday, some car was yelling at me because they were turning left. I had a green light that turned yellow while I was under it. And he was blaring his horn because it was icy out, so I took my time. Dude, I am not wrecking my car because you're impatient. Got your license out of a Cracker Jack's box.
Anyways. There's lots of accidents at the intersection.
Goldie officials?
That's Lucinda. She told us this story about some crazy neighbors she had and how they would call the cops on her constantly for her dog, for supposedly blaring loud music when they were all in bed and waking up the kid. The cops would come and wake up the kids. And
She also knows about squirrels.
she said she had a legit squirrel get in her grandmother's house one day while she was out shopping, and it looked like a thief had ransacked the house.
One of the craziest thing I've had a cat drag into a house. A still screeching bat attached to its
I don't
face.
think the cat drug it in. It just says I know about squirrels. My grandma had a real squirrel get in her house
Oh.
when we were out shopping one day. So we used to rent a duplex townhouse from my grandparents. Among other feelings about it. I came home from work one day while he was still at work to a bird flying around our house, around on the inside. I very calmly shut the back door, walked. We literally lived like 2 doors from my grandparents' house. Walked to my grandma and grandpa's house and said, "There's a bird flying around my house. Can I get some assistance?" My grandpa comes over. We go through the whole house. We can't find this being bird. 6 months later, I went into the middle bedroom and found a mummified bird.
Well, let's just say it didn't smell that bad, which is why we never found it. Can you set the whole story?
So she said that it looked like a thief had ransacked the house. This girl running around knocking everything off. They were laughing hysterically at themselves, trying to get the squirrel out. She says her family looks at her like she is crazy when she laughs at our stories and our antics. I am so very glad that I can provide that service to y'all. And that reminds me, I was watching
You want to finish?
Lost in Floss today. Another YouTubers, pair of friends, best friends since high school. They have, I think the one lady has children my age, maybe a little bit younger than our age. Their video, not this one they put out the end of last week. The one prior to that was hilarious because they were talking about making a pillow finish and putting stabilizer on the back of the project to make the pillow finish. And Leanne, the one gal, said something about, well, you wouldn't want to do it to a sampler. And Barb started cracking up because she's thinking sampler pillow. Like, y'all know what a sampler looks like. So she was trying really hard to keep a straight face. Didn't happen. But, yeah. If you're not watching them, go watch them because they've done some pretty great antics. And I laugh at them when I watch them. What are you laughing at? She loves all of our projects, including my pain in the project butt. And unfortunately, has more frogs than anything. I feel your pain.
I had a lot of frogging yesterday.
Ribbit. Okay.
Amber, I guess you'd only say the next part from AZ. Really funny if you're being swelled up and put Oz to make you start singing bad songs from like 60 years ago.
Wizard of Oz came out 80 years ago.
Oh. Well, I wasn't around, so I don't know the exact date. Any kind of way. Thankfully, I have a pack of rare white Esky squirrels.
She has white Esky dogs.
Who love to interrupt my stitching with cuddles and loves. So I guess that qualifies as a zoo. Laugh out loud, that's part of that. Your stitching is beautiful as always, and I love the window that you made. Yes, Joe, we froze our behinds off, but we do know what heaters are because it's cold at night here every winter, silly. I know this. I actually said that last week. The people at the airport were beyond confused. It was on the local news, as a matter of fact. I hope that you both have a wonderful week. Happy stitching, sweethearts. Oh, I know how cold it gets. It's just your airports don't know how to deal with ice and snow on the runways or the roads. Like, I had friends down there. Like, what happens when it's snow? When you get like a half inch of snow? They looked at me and went, I don't go to work. Like, who? I get why. It's just.
In fairness, there are people who live in snowy climates who don't go to work when there's a half inch of snow.
Did I just miss something?
Oh, you did.
And by the way, are you being mean to me?
Not you.
Because I did that once, but it was because there was also a lot of ice.
You did that once. No, you kind of had some justification. And one time you did it, it was like horrible by our house. Horrible. You hit like Cuyahoga County, which is the county he works in, which is the county next over to us. There was like nothing. And his job couldn't figure out why.
Yeah. And I actually sent them a picture with a ruler in the snow, and they went, what?
No, there have been a couple of times where I've given you credit about. You need to.
Yeah. And sometimes I actually looked at my boss. I was like, I'm coming in 3 hours late. He's like, why? Because I'm waiting for the accidents on the main highway to clear up before I leave. I'm going to take just as long, but I might as well sit comfy in my house. His exact response was, I'll see you when you get here.
Fair enough. Not what I was talking about, but anyways.
I know who you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. You told me not to use names.
Moving along.
Squirrel!
Heather! Hi, Heather.
Hey, yo, what's up?
That's never any adult, by the way. She said she did not live text me her YouTube viewing this week, and I was disappointed. Last week, and I was disappointed. Just saying, Heather. She said, all right, fair point about the metallics in small dragon.
Baby dragon. She said baby dragon.
And the
baby dragon.
With the and making it into a bag. How about a dice box lid then? You realize who's going to end up making that, right, Heather?
I just wanted to go up on a wall. Actually, I was thinking, can we make it like a Christmas star?
A Christmas star?
Yeah, put a little hole on the bottom, put it in a hoop. Put some LEDs behind it.
I would not put LEDs behind the piece of fabric, but...
Or in front of it, actually. It'd sparkle off the glittery. It'd be sparkly, glittery fun. I could put an alternator in there so that the lights will change color. Yes, I have a degree in electronics. I can do fun things. We get sparkly, glittery. Magic words.
Yes, clear is the best. Always, I love your kitty, full and Joe-proof whip. The way you're stitching very friendly cats.
Oh.
Speaking of a very friendly cat, who's a bad little cat. It makes me happy when I can do stretches of stitching without going back in the pattern every 2 seconds. Yes! Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh yeah, I'll actually mention that for you, Heather.
Oh my gosh, yes.
When we go over my works already.
Yes, but it's rare. She loved my little block finish on Life's Moments. Kathy at Today House, over at Today House on YouTube. I'll link.
Speaking of,
Good kitty.
what did he do now?
His fiasco this weekend.
Oh.
I will link all the
Hey, we found a reason for that.
I will link, and I'm a bad pet mom about it. I will link all the floss tubes I mentioned below. I don't do shout outs because I tend to watch all of the same floss tubes everybody else watches. But if I mention somebody and I'm talking about something in a video they've put out recently, I'll link them so you can be like, what is she talking about? But anyways, Kathy over at Today House on her last video was talking about calling when you finish a little motif a min finish. It's my new thing. It's a min finish. I'm totally stealing that from her. She's jealous of the progress that I made on Trio Stitches. Yeah, well,
We're not there yet.
she's already seen it. Or on Tree of Tedious Stitches. I'm sorry, we have to call it the right thing. Lovely as always. She likes my chalk, my yarn chalk piece, and my little ornament I finished last week. My Wiseman, who is an undignified name. She said good for Joe for showing off my little wall of
Stuff.
my wall of organization. Because if you're going to run a business, you got to be organized so that you don't lose people's orders or people's requests for orders. Because that makes people pissed off and not want to order from you.
And the golden rule of business when it comes to doing things with people, somebody will tell one person you did something good, and at least 10 if you did something bad.
See, I'm not like that.
I said people, not Laura. We know you're not people.
Because really, I could sit here and blast the person that did that to me and it would screw her over, but I'm not like that. She said, good luck on dragons, flowers, the Bendy Stitchy Challenge, and she likes my reasoning behind it, and she can't wait to see the progress on everything. And Bendy Stitchy knew I was all into the challenge. And this little turd.
Hopefully if I hold him enough, he'll get annoyed and leave. But he's actually enjoying it.
He hasn't been allowed in the craft room in the last couple of days because he's decided after 8 years he's going to start playing with my crafting stuff. Has never messed with it before. But he tried to eat a piece of floss and it made him puke. Thank God it made him puke and didn't go all the way in. I am a bad pet mom because here I am 8 years after owning the cat thinking he's not going to mess with my stuff and he did.
You love him. Hey. No me mugging my kitty cat. I mean muggy dog.
I love him. We've had some attitude issue with him since the first of the year. So, all right. Well,
we do call him the moody teenager.
And he is named after a demon.
Her idea. Not joking. And he's always had an attitude problem.
No. All right. That's the comments. So we will move on to whips. It's whip time. Go.
She's gonna love that when she's doing the editing. First off, Dragons of Sumatra. Got a little bit done. Got the middle part done. Starting over here.
Can't find the picture of the one whip I have to show you. So while he's doing his, I'm looking for it. Anyways, carry on.
And then Kit and Bixie, really friendly cats.
Meow. Meow. Meow.
And as Heather was saying, I did all of those red lines, 2 up top and this one at the bottom, without looking at the pattern. Because I did all of the little arrow parts first.
And he stopped mid-stitch. Do you see this? Do you see this? He stopped mid-stitch. Like, legit mid-stitch.
Yeah, unfortunately I have had nowhere near as much time as I wanted to stitch. Because, well, as I said last week was audit. And basically I came home brain dead. Because I'm the guy who gets to play with the auditors all the time. So Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday was Joe play with the auditors, please.
Joe play with the auditors. Oh, I forgot to take out some.
We have to pause.
Gravy! What is wrong with me?
Do you want the list in alphabetical or numerical order?
Miracle.
Okay.
Chronological.
Chronological? Well, okay, I'll start with your parents.
Okay. Moving along. You are done, right? Yeah, you only have 2 whips right now.
Yeah. I wanted to do when I was out and about, and I actually found a way of doing Dragons of Sumatra out and about-ish.
Ish. I'm a crazy human. I have like 50 billion whips. Not really. I don't have 90.
No, you have 50 billion.
Okay, so I was working on... What Wiseman am I working on? This guy. The beginning of last week. Well, through most of last week. Worked on it Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Or Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. I didn't stitch on Tuesday. I just didn't. I was like... And then I had a class. Oh no, I did stitch on Tuesday, but I didn't stitch on that. Squirrel. Squirrel. And this is what I've gotten done. Now do you see why I have such drama with this thing? It is tedious. There's like 3 colors in his skin. 3 colors in his skin. I'm on color...
Laura, this is the one type of confetti Laura doesn't like.
I'm on color 3 of this thing he's holding with one of his gifts. I'm guessing this is probably the Myrrh one. How do I tell you? Yes, he is likely carrying random things that I probably don't. I know. He's got the box with the gold. He's got the jar with the incense, and his looks like an oil jar. And myrrh is what they used to use back in those days for embalming. Random fun fact that I know. The 3 gifts from the 3 wise men. It was never really said how many wise men actually came to visit the baby Jesus. We just infer 3 because gold, frankincense, and myrrh were brought to baby Jesus, and that was to infer to Jesus's death. The gold, referencing him being king of the Jews. The myrrh is used was used back then to
hide the smell of the body.
Hide the smell of a decomposing body. And frankincense, you would light frankincense as an incense, and you would light it as you were anointing the decomposing body with more oil so that you didn't have it stink. Random things that I know.
Tip of the iceberg. Tip of the iceberg.
Random things that I know.
I have been dealing with random things she knows for well over a decade now.
I really do need to get some hustle on this because it is almost Stitch 9, but it's only March. So we're good.
You've been saying that with that thing for how long?
So, Tuesday, I had to go to a work class, and I wanted to take something with me that I could stitch on because I had to get there early because I had to save seats for the people from my job because my job wouldn't let the people that were going with me, that were going straight from work, out early so that they could actually be on time. It's a long story. So, I had some stitching time. So I took May, year in chalk. May.
May.
So I took that with me, and then I took it with me on Saturday to my mother's house. And this is where I've gotten. I tend to I took this. Did I take this with me to market? No, I took Life's Moments. I pulled Life's Moments back out on Friday. I know, I'm kind of squirrely today. I don't feel good. What?
Your piece of fabric is driving me nuts.
What?
I always trim off the fraying bits. Thank you, Jesus. I'm still recovering.
Care. Put it back in the bag. So, Friday, I picked back up. I guess I should show you this first. Designworks Life's Moments. What?
Huh?
I picked back up Designworks Life Moments. I'm going to try to get all of the blues done by the end of the week. I don't think that's going to happen. That's where I've gotten. It might happen. But you see this guy down here? That's the bottom of that block. I don't really think I'm going to get all the blues done. But I will try. I'll give it the good old college try. And I'll explain why when we get to plans. Could you put that away for me?
If I knew where away was.
Actually, it goes in here.
I don't know.
It goes in my Slovak Farm bag, handmade bag. Shameless self-plug. I'm all about the shameless self-plugs today. Slovak Farm, handcrafted bag, hand-dyed fabrics.
Actually, this is actually a part of a...
That's a kit.
Did you get this fabric from the Margie's wedding?
This is from Jason, my brother, and my sister-in-law's wedding, and then this is from Drains. So I don't have any other bags that look like this, but I make bags that look like, you know, same shape. The nativity's on the kit fabric because it was a kit, and I have no idea what the name
You
of the
also
chalk fabric
started
for
nativities about like 6 years before you started dyeing fabric.
True story. True story. Santa Sunday yesterday, didn't get a whole lot of stitching. This is what I started. It is Country Cottage Needleworks Happy Holidays. It is from the 2012 ornament issue. It is on hand dyed by the Slovak Farm fabric. This is where I got yesterday. So I realized I have a really bad habit. Do you guys know what it is? There's the needle hanging with the fabric. I just put it down and, you know, there it goes. So, I didn't stitch as much yesterday as I might have. Mom and I were gallivanting in the countryside, going to the Medina Home and Garden Show.
How did you get those tickets?
I won the tickets from the place where I get my tea, Sub Rosa Teas. I won the tickets. So we went. It wasn't a very big show, but it's okay. It was free. And I got to buy tea and not pay shipping.
What's really entertaining is she was like, "Oh, I got this." I was like, ask your mom to go. I'll go if you want me to, but shows are kind of YouTube thing. It's what the ladies do for fun.
Very true. And then, I'm sure you all are wondering where this is. Y'all are probably going, wait, she should have it. Where is it? If you follow me on social media, if you are in any of the groups I'm in, you will know.
Wait, let me be a dork.
Tree of Stitches is finished. It is on 28 count even weave, hand dyed by the Slovak Farm, Ice Blue. I finished it on Thursday. It qualified as a February finish.
Can I say the little thing with the getting my head popped off? She really needs a bath.
Okay. Anyways, it doesn't need a bath. It's not dirty. Oh, that line will... Oh, he's talking about the line from the frame. That line will be framed out. So, NBD. This is why you give yourself needed borders. A lot of people are like, do you really need to do a 3-inch border? Well, if you use a frame or a hoop, sometimes you get dirty in where you attach it. But it is done. I will insert a close-up video of my stitches and the colors and all of that here. Thus concludes... Actually... I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna put it
at the end of this clip
because that
makes more
concludes
sense.
whips and finishes, and then I don't have to splice the clip. That makes sense, doesn't it? Genius. Okay, a little up close tour of tree of stitches. Show you all the different stitches and some of their nuances, and it picks up the colors a little bit better. So the trunk here and here is just your standard over 2 over 2 cross stitch in DMC 9, which was from the new collection. All of my threads were from the new collection, and I did it on a 28 count even weave Joblin or Lugana. I think it's Joblin. Obviously that I dyed myself. So our trunk is a 2 over 2 cross stitch. Branch A here. Let's not get too close here. Branch A here is the Smyrna cross. Some of the stitches have other names, like the Smyrna cross is also called the double cross stitch. If I remember them, I will tell you. If I don't, sorry. It was done in 35. Branch B was supposed to be French knots. We all know my feelings towards French knots. So I used a bead and I pulled off the name tag. They're just a glass seed bead I got at Pactan's. I like to color. That's what I went with. Branch C is the eyelet stitch, done in 19. Branch D is the rice stitch. Jeez, sorry, making you guys seasick. Is a rice stitch. The only thing I would change about this is I would do it with a single strand. I think a single strand would have made those rice stitches, they look good, but a single strand would have made them a little bit more, give them a little bit more definition. It was done in 30. E, yeah, I just had to say the alphabet in my head to make sure I went right. So these three are 2 strands, the Smyrna, the eyelet, the rice. The cushion stitch, which is E, is a single strand, or it would have looked like a blob, and it is done in 1. It's a pretty good read on that color. EF is the Jerusalem stitch, also known as the upright cross, and it is done in 34. And there's some beads in here. There's some beading in here, and then you see there's some beading up here in the floral stitch. Again, just some seed beads that I had picked up at Pactan's several years ago. So the floral stitch is done in 25. Then we move along to the Norwich stitch, which is a nice woven stitch. This is the floral stitches done in 2 strands. This is another single strander, and you can see why. Nice definition. It was done in 22, a nice orangey, ready orange color. Then down here, I don't even know what letter I'm on. This is a I. Branch I was the star stitch. And much like over with the rice stitch, probably should have done this in a single strand. It would have given it just a little bit more definition. Not that it looks bad double-stranded, but it is done in DMC 15. Its beads are a Mill Hill MH 42031. They were leftovers from my one ornament Mill Hill kit that I did. Can't remember the name of it right now. Branch J is the Rhodes Square, and I did this single-stranded to give it, you know, so you could see the stitches. It's done in 21. Branch K is the Fancy Cross. I had to think about what it was for a second. It's the Fancy Cross. There's a cat hair on there. Done in 26. And these beads are the same as those beads. This branch L is the Tide Windmill. She had it labeled as two different things. And on the list of stitches, it was one thing. On the instructions, it was called the Tide Windmill. And I don't remember what the list of stitches it was called. It is done in 31. This, I think, is my favorite stitch. I think it just looks really cool. And I did it in, again, in double-stranded. Then we come down here. Branch M is a leaf stitch. Obviously, it looks like a leaf. Single strand, 33. Alright. So that's all of the tree branches. We'll come up here to the owl. The owl is done in 2. And it is a combination of stitches. The eyes are double-stranded cross stitch. The face and the wings are single-stranded straight stitches. And the body is what's called a knit stitch, which I think might be my favorite stitch of the whole project. It is just nifty looking. I mean, it looks knit. And this would be my only complaint about, this part would be my only complaint about her directions. Her directions, you know, she shows you from here around. She doesn't have this bottom part of the face on there. And when you follow her directions to create the bottom and the wings, it just looks goofy without something down there. So I added those. Alright, and then we have a floral stitch down here in, I think, possibly 31? Yeah, 31. So that's a floral stitch with just a straight stitch stem. Stem is 15. And then the bunny is just another Rhodes stitch done over a wider array to give it an oval shape here and kind of an octagonal shape here. And then his ears, his foot, his tail, his face are straight stitches, and that is done in DMC 5. So there you go. Bees Needleworks Tree of Stitches. All of the stitches told to you. Somebody has asked me already to do a Stitch With Me type tutorial on all of the different stitches that I learned in this, and I will be happy to do that. It's going to take me a little while. Life's a little busy, and I got to set up, you know, each stitch. So give me a little bit on that. I'll do that. And back to your regular scheduled Flosstube programming. Announcements and plans. Announcements. You'd think I have never done this before. How many deep into Flosstube?
You know what? It's part of your charm, deal with it.
Just resign yourself to the fact that I'm never going to get it together. If you want a chance to win the bookmark leaflet, go to last week's video. A bunch of crap just knocked off. Go to last week's video, watch it, answer the question. You'll also find out why we're talking about squirrels and frogs.
Ribbit. Kind of close to it.
I have no idea. None. It is a new month, so Stitch from Stash February check-in. My carryover balance from, I don't have the paper up here with me. So, my carryover balance from January was $34.93. My budget was $25. I spent $64.47. Supplies for 3 bags, a pattern, and Nashville. Trio of Stitches was a $15 credit. And then I got his gift, September Yarn Chalk, and Warm Wishes finished. So that was $30 in credit. So my carryover balance for going into March is $25.47.
I really just wish all this credit stuff actually gave you real money to spend on this.
It's a true story. Well, you know, I'm trying to sell my fabrics. Plans. What are your plans, boy?
Sleep.
Look for something else. What are your stitching plans?
SSDD. I have dragons. I have cats. Sorry, I'm not as excited as she is with that projects. So once I'm done with cats, I'm gonna have a little bit of fun.
No. There I am. Okay. So, plans for March. Let's talk about them, people.
Oh, God, help me.
Let us talk about them. Going to work on Life's Moments for this week. Hello, Kitty. The Bendy Stitchy birthday sal is, I want to say the 8th, the 9th, and the 10th. Michelle, if I'm wrong, correct me. I think I got it right, though, because I told her that last week, and she didn't correct me, so. And I will be stitching on, so it's Bendy Stitchy birthday sal, 3 days. So BS, and then something that makes you go, oh, that's so bendy. Or something that was a gift. Or is going to be a gift. Or contains a gift. Or, you know. Because we all know how generous Bendy Stitchy is. So, I am doing Ride Forth Singing by Lindy Stitches. So my S is quite obvious. Lindy Stitches. My B, we could go with the blue flowers. Or we could go with the fact that Michelle inspired me. Well, Michelle led me down the rabbit hole of Lindy Stitches designs. If it were not for Michelle G, I probably wouldn't have found Lindy Stitches. And I am in love with all of her designs. I am. I fangirl. I do. So, I will show you a quick... God, I really do leave my needles mid-work. Hit of where I'm at. So, the fact that Michelle inspired me, like, to find Lindy Stitches, so this is where I'm at, could also work for the, oh, that's so bendy thing, or it's the fact that the fabric I'm stitching this on was a gift. Also, the flosses I'm using are Victorian Motto Sampler Shop. threads, and Michelle was one of the first floss tubers I saw with Nancy's threads. Christine over at Stitch All the Things also kind of got me inspired on them. But I have some words done. I have more words to do.
You gonna have words with your fabric?
Yes, I have a big chunk of fabric. It is a beast of a project.
First!
It's a beast of a project, but it's going to be amazing when it's done. And it too is in a, and that fabric was a silk weaver, so it was not a hand dyed by the Slovak Farms. My friend Andrea gave it to me. It's in a Slovak Farm bag. Andrea is the only other person who has the match to this bag. Because she's my best friend. So, that will bring us to through the 10th. So then in the Let's Get Stitching group, we are doing, we have 2 challenges for the month. We have March to the Finish. Do you like my chair that I made? Mm-hmm. Anyways, we have March Madness or March to the Finish. So March Madness can be anything that is stitching madness to you, whether it be working on one progress continuously throughout the 3 weeks of March Madness, working on a different project every single day, a bunch of new starts, and we're doing it for 3 weeks to go with March Madness. Now, if you are a basketball human, you know that March Madness doesn't actually start until the 18th, and it goes through April 8th. I'm the kind of human that timeline, it bumps it into April. First of all, we have my birthday sale starting in April, in that time frame. And second of all, it screws up my way of thinking with the months. So, also option is to do it either the 11th through the end of the month, or to actually follow the March Madness tournament schedule, the 18th through the 8th. I'm doing March to the Finish. I've picked 2 projects. I have like about 3 projects that are probably the closest to being finished. I picked these 2. I picked 2. Number 1, because the Miss Oh So Crafty birthday sale is at the end of March, going into April. And I wanted a backup in case I finished one of my March to the Finish projects. Because this is the one I'm going to work on, because this is actually the closest to finished. Another Lindy Stitches Designs project. Mr. and Mrs. Delicious. This is actually the design that, upon seeing Michelle G stitching it, I'm like, ooh, I like that, that's cute. And then I went in her Etsy shop and I was like, ooh, I like all of her stuff. I love all of her stuff. And here's where I'm at. So I really just have Mr. Delicious to finish in. So there's a solid chance I will have that done in the 3 weeks. So,
Well, if you've done one, can't you start the other one? Sorry.
sorry, gang. That's in my BFF Bags and Pouches bag. That I absolutely love because it's shiny. The point is shiny. So, I went through and matched all of the Miss Oh So Crafty birthday style things to this. So obviously the letter S matches to Lindy Stitches. Jewel tones, onyx thread. Onyx is a jewel. Nature, hello, it's turkeys. Imagination, hello, it's turkeys and clothes. Fancy, I maybe stretched it slightly. It's Fancy Floss.
Aren't they wearing like top hats and stuff?
She's wearing a pilgrim bonnet and he's wearing a pilgrim hat. It's turkeys and clothes.
No, fancy enough clothes for me. For a turkey, it's very fancy.
Sparkly. I have nothing in this that's sparkly. I guess
Bag.
I guess we could go with the glitter on the sparkly bag. And obviously closest to a finish. So if I don't finish this before the Miss Oh So Crafty sale starts, it fits everything. My second candidate for March to a finish is Peace on Earth. Cottage Garden Samplings. Cottage Garden Samplings. Peace on Earth. And I just realized the chart's on the back of the page, so I hope I didn't flash it.
You did.
Oops. And here's where I'm at on it. I have so much done. So,
Wasn't that the snow you were swearing at?
oh, this was the snow I was cussing at. I was cussing at the snow. So, S. Cottage Garden Samplings. Easy enough. Snow. I could come up with a couple S's for this. Jewel Tones. Somewhere in here is Copper.
Yeah.
And Heirloom Gold. Somewhere in here. Don't ask me exactly where. Wonders of Nature.
Birdie.
There's a giant bird on it.
Oh, that's compared to the house. Yeah, it is giant.
Fancy Floss. Imagination.
Here, I got this one. I don't know. This bird looks like it's about ready to pick a fight with Gonzo if that's a 4-story house.
My rationale. It's about as good as my original rationale for imagination was Peace on Earth.
No, you got a 4-story bird. That works.
I realized that saying Peace on Earth was imaginary was a tad bit cynical. Albeit true. There's 2 needles in there. Hey, I found all my I'm like, where are all my needles? I found them.
Yeah, look at every project you have. 1, 2.
I realized that that's a tad bit of a cynical outlook on life. Even if it's true. But cardinals are considered a visitor from heaven. Like if you see a real cardinal in your yard, you have a visitor from heaven. Which is funny because we have a cardinal that lives in our backyard.
What's it say? See one at a time. We're being stalked.
Well, considering the end of last week was Grandma's 1 year in heaven. I mean, I'll insert a picture of my grandma when she was younger. Because I have a really good picture of her at the very end. But, she probably is talking about us. I love my grandma. But.
So we don't flash this picture anymore.
So, but I kind of took that spin on, I guess, imagination. Because I guess Peace on Earth sounded a little bit cynical. Fancy, we're doing Fancy Floss. Although that's a pretty fancy looking bird. And it's in a pretty fancy bag.
Sparkly.
Guess who made that bag?
The Man in the Moon.
It's another Slovak farm bag.
You start getting like a logo to put on this thing right here.
I can buy a patch that's got the Slovak farm that I can put down in the corner. I'm going to look into that.
Oh, I put it right here.
No, I'm going to put it down in the corner.
Okay.
I know my bags don't have Velcro, like any closure. I was talking to somebody over the weekend, and I can attach Velcro to make it a closure. If you buy a bag and decide you want one. And sparkly, the bag is sparkly, but there's also gold heirloom gold in it. Even though the thread isn't sparkly, it's gold. So, and of course the finishing. And if I get real desperate,
I just hate you dragging to Sumatra. That fits most
one.
everything.
I've got another one that flows into almost finished. I don't think I'm going to finish both of these in a month. So,
if you do, I will laugh.
if I do, I will be impressed. And then,
If you have any more plans for the next week, I'm going to flip.
so this actually leads into next month. But April 5th and 6th, we will be stitching Laura's royal birthday style. Pick something that's royal. Make it fit. Make me laugh with your reasoning.
You know what? If you want to do a stitch that looks like your husband or your kid because our royal painting that works.
Like, really. Take what you got and stretch it to make me laugh. I will adore you. So that is announcements and plans. And I guarantee this is going to be another 45-minute video. Even though I was trying to keep it short because I feel like crap.
I love you.
There was a lot of plans to announce. I love you.
Yeah, and I had to deal with little Mr. By the way, he found some leaves on the ground.
How there are leaves on my second floor classroom, we will never know.
It looked like it might be from a flower or from potpourri or something like that.
The tulips are dead. I bought tulips a couple weeks ago in one of those forced vases where they've got the stones. The bulbs sit on the stones and then they bloom. My tulips were pretty much blooming when I bought them. So the tulips have bit the dust. That's it.
We're good?
We're good. We had no haul.
Nope.
Well, I got some fabric, but other than that, we have no haul. You don't need to see sewing fabric.
Nope.
So, like the video. Share the video. Comment on the video. Subscribe to our channel.
Bell notification icon.
Stalk me on social media.
Don't worry, if you don't feel like stalking her, let me know. I stalk her anyway.
It's another inside joke. If you want to follow me on the various social media channels, on the various social media links that I have below, you're more than welcome to.
Can I close that shiny?
Stalk me on social media. We're done. So, we're just going to close the video. Say goodbye, Joe.
Goodbye, Joe.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.